Wahlberg's character's name in this film.
I
If you're Cody Elliott Moore, I've nothing against your name, but seeing it in this film is just not cool, is it?
it's the entire film's not cool. Do you want to know my kind of shocking fact about this film? The most exciting thing, sorry, that happened during this film when I was watching it. Bradley's quite into Ice Age at the minute, and you know Elliot's wee pal. I can't remember what the hell his name is. Julian.
He's Sid.
He does the voice of Sid.
It's pretty sweet. Like.
That is about as exciting as this film gets.
But hey, you know, you've got to have excitement somewhere, even if it's in another film.
I mean, I'd have been happier if he started speaking like that, like Sid does.
That's pretty good.
That would have made the film entirely better.
That's not bad, Sid. Like, again, in fact, let's just do Ice Age.
Exactly.
Fuck
Although
this film.
the amount of times I've watched it recently, I could probably just mime it to you, like just rattle it off.
Introduction, sir.
Anyway, welcome to the Downturn, take 9. This time, we're going to be reviewing the worst piece of cinema ever released.
It's a masterpiece.
Disaster piece. It's The Happening.
Jesus.
And it's been a while, Mark. How are you? It's been a while since I've seen you.
I'm alright.
You good?
I feel better than when I was watching this piece of shit.
Absolutely. Just a two-way tonight. Matt had things to do for Potter.
Pot? What?
That's what he calls his missus. Potter. So, frankly, it's been a bit of a hose before bros, so he's out in his arse. His monologue's been scrapped.
Well, no, it's been been postponed.
Until he comes back on.
You saw
He's kicked it, though.
You read it.
I've read it. It's gold.
It's good. It'll be good for him.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it, but then it was that funny. I thought, nah.
We'll
keep it because it doesn't sound as good in Scottish. It sounds good in his weird hybrid Manc Scottish ing. You notice he says that?
No.
I put him up in it the other day.
Ing?
Yeah, like if he was saying singing, he's like singing. You never noticed that?
Nah.
It's where he's from.
I'm not going to diss the way anybody speaks.
We also
considering the way I speak.
We also had the discussion on how would you say lentil?
Lentil?
As in lentil soup.
Lentil.
Do you say the t?
Lentil.
Or do you say lentil?
No, lentil.
You say lentil?
Aye, lentil.
Or are you some sort of wanker?
Where did you get off?
Weird. How do you say mental?
Mental.
You don't.
I do.
I've never heard you pronounce the T.
Mental.
You're just doing that now.
Right, listen,
You're being weird.
Listen, you tosser. Right?
That's different.
My favourite act is Tattoo. My favourite character in all of America.
You wouldn't say
TV.
that either. You'd gone tattoo. you just dropped the T. What's that about?
I'm gonna drive the helicopter around the island while beautiful women. You go to the Ducks. Tattoo. It's Higgins, sir. If you get that reference, you can be our friend.
Have you watched the latest Archer?
No, I'm scared to.
You need to so that I can rant.
We're not reviewing Archer.
I know we're not, but it just came to my mind then.
I think the one thing I said to you was, have you watched that? I said no, and you went right, and I says, I'm not bothered as long as they're siphoning the same jokes as they did last season. No, every other season they're siphoning the same jokes, same gags, and you went, well, and I went, oh no.
That's plenty.
Oh,
another one, plenty.
Disappointing. Again.
Plenty. Didn't say the T.
Plenty.
No one talks like that, Mark.
Listen, Scott. Right?
Scott.
Listen, Scott. I've got a problem with you. But hey, listen, I am the Inquisitor, and I'm here to put this film to rest.
Surprisingly, I have just shy of 2 pages of notes.
I'm about 4. It's certainly no Zodiac.
It's unbelievable how bad this is.
I think
I the whole way through it, I kept looking over at Haley and just going,
who chose this?
Me, but I'm really regretting that.
So listen,
Plus,
you only have yourself to blame.
Myself?
Well,
what's she got to do it?
No, I'm just pronouncing T's where there aren't meant
Oh,
to be
right, I
T's.
see.
You gotta get this all the time.
Okay.
Now, can happening.
Well, in my title, it's called The Shattening. So
it might as well be called that. I watched it once through. Struggled.
I've watched it twice, right? I watched it once originally, and I think I just started going with Haley, and we got distracted, and I didn't. I was like, have I missed something?
Was there a pigeon shitting on the roof beside you or something?
Yes, and I'm terrified of pigeons. The second time we watched it right through, and I was like, no, I didn't miss anything. It's just that bad. So then, obviously, I had to watch it for this. Usually, I watch films twice before we do like the podcast. I'll watch it once without taking notes. The second time through, I'll take notes. Couldn't even bring myself to do that this time.
I watched it once. Struggled, got through, did some notes. Then I watched the other review show that I've liked for a few years. Did one in happening maybe 4 years ago. OSW Review did it, and it's about 45 minutes on YouTube. So I watched that through twice. Picked up wee things that I'd maybe missed.
Stole their jokes.
Well, I steal monologues. I steal monologues, not these.
Jokes.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything's been done. That's my excuse. And gonna take me to court. I'll go kicking and screaming.
Well, you can take me to court, but you can't take, what is it? What's my fucking latest wee saying?
How am I meant to know your latest wee saying?
You can't get pants from a bare arse. Meaning you can't get fuck all from me, I have nothing.
A bare arse.
Sue me if you want.
What if it is like one of your blue movies and the pants are shoved into the arse?
You can dig around for them if you really want.
Nah, see, I've already broken your new saying, so... But hey, if it's alright, I know exactly what you were trying, but stop giving me those eyes. Stop undressing me
my
with
bedroom
your
eyes. My pull the pants out your backside eyes.
Kisses. But
I can't, even reading the notes for this, Mark, it's hard.
I'm feeling better about it.
I'm not. Do you know what? I can't wait to get this over with so that I never have to think of this again in my life.
Well, we're not doing the happening too.
Is there a happening too?
We'll make it ourselves.
This time it's vegetarians.
No, we'll make it like Sonny makes Lethal Weapon 5 and 6, and we'll just have our pals doing it.
If we do make it, can we call it the Clapnin?
Might as well be.
And make it like Angry Chlamydia.
And Danny DeVito plays the angry.
I would rather watch that than this.
Have you seen the reviews for this that it got? No.
What, like actual critic reviews?
Yeah.
From Metacritic or actual reviews?
All of them.
I have not researched it.
None of them are actual reviews.
I looked into a few facts and even they were boring. But the one that annoyed me most was how much it made at the box office.
That's him riding the wave of the good films he's done with this director.
Unbelievable.
I'll sort this out. I'll explain to you why this made money, right?
Do you want to give us the facts?
Right. Facts. Here we go. The Happening, if you haven't already noticed, that's what's happening. 2008. It's about an hour and a half exactly. The IMDb score of 5 out of 10. A Rotten Tomatoes score of 18%.
How?
And a Metacritic of 34. But this is anybody could go on and give it 100 just for a laugh. These are all shit.
They shouldn't. I mean, who? Never mind.
Critics, who gives a
Who's
fuck?
watching it?
We're critiquing these things and we're
I'm not
arseholes for
critiquing
doing
it. I'm taking the piss. I'm bringing it down. I'm just telling you it's shit.
You give a rating of films at the end of them.
This one is just getting straight up turds, by the way.
Aye, that's fine. See, this is the thing I kept saying about the 13th Warrior. I'll mention it every episode till we die. That film gets so much gash, and look at this piece of shit.
This is way what I'd rather watch 13th Warrior than this any day of the week. I think I'd rather watch 13th Warrior while like getting paper cuts than watch this.
It can be arranged as long as I get to watch it.
I remember that I sent a message to you and Matt saying how much I hated The Happening. It's quite a rant. Where is it? I'm just going to read this to you. I can't even find it. Oh no, wait. It's coming up. Honest to God, man. It's not even funny or clever. It's like, I liken this to the cinematic equivalent of gonorrhea with a side of Ebola. And you also piss blood and shite razor blades, and have pus-filled hemorrhoids, and a hangnail in every finger.
I got a hangnail hanging from my cuticle. A hangnail,
and it ain't beautiful.
Again,
hurts like a bitch that I did last night.
Again, if you get that, you can be our friend.
Exactly.
Can.
But oh man, so bad. That was my thoughts whilst watching.
Do you want to get more annoyed? Because I'll remind you about the budget and how much this grossed at the cinema.
It has.
Right. Budget, 48 million.
48 million? On
did they
what?
Transport
what did they have to buy a big fan?
Mark Wahlberg doesn't come cheap.
Well, that's the thing. I actually think I'm more disappointed with Mark Wahlberg.
You will feel better about Mark Wahlberg after the quote I give you at the end of this about why he did this film.
Was it, kill me, this film was terrible?
You'll have respect for him.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
I do.
I mean, big fan of Rockstar.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Awesome film. I really enjoyed it because Zach Wilde's in it as well, and he uses the immortal phrase. It's like, How was your tour? I shot something every day. Awesome.
Loosely based off the story of Judas Priest as well,
Yeah,
Tim
yeah.
Ripper Owens, which I was loving. Again,
Also, Miles
absolutely.
Kennedy's in it.
Aye, my mum noticed that.
Brilliant.
At the end, she was
I think it
loving
was you.
it.
I'm pretty sure it was you that told me that.
Aye, I was like, that's
No,
pretty
then
amazing.
the penny dropped. I was like, holy crap.
Aye, this grossed on 48 million budget. This grossed 163.4 million.
Unbelievable.
That's cinema.
120 million at the box office, more or less.
No. That's not including DVDs.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Aye.
At the box
Aye,
office.
uh-huh.
That's fucking mental.
But
Mental. Hear that? Mental.
this is
No
him
tea.
riding a wave because the director's M. Night Shyamalan. Who the hell knows?
Who?
He's Indian, right? I'm not good with names. I think it's M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know, right? But he's got a big
Shang-a-lang.
right?
Is that another basic role?
Shyamalan. But obviously, cast. Main cast. There's not really much at cast actually, but we've got
Nah.
Mark Wahlberg. Big fan of Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
to
I
be
like
honest.
Mark Wahlberg.
He's playing Elliot Moore. I hate that name as a hero. I don't know why it is,
It's a crap name.
but
Crap
I'll
name
tell you
for a
later
crap
on who he
hero.
reminds me. As an equivalent to a hero, but he's been in like the other guys. Pretty damn good film. Planet of the Apes remake. Pretty not great. We watched that yesterday, me and my pal Michael, and then pal Michael's maybe a wee bit heavier than Mark Wahlberg, but then he put a face when he was watching it going, "What's that?" I looked at him and I went, "Oh, you're like a wee bit more weighted Mark Wahlberg," and he looked in the mirror and went, "Hey, I am." So he gets the nickname Wahlberg. He's in Daddy's Home and things like that. He's been in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, Boogie Nights.
Aye.
Oh.
Aye, that was one of his first kind of big roles. But
Was it?
well, he's been in loads. It's too many to
Oh,
name.
yeah,
You know,
loads.
you've got loads
Again,
of films.
I like Wahlberg. That's why I'm disappointed.
Aye, but he's
I'm
playing-
not mad.
Uh-huh.
Well, I am mad.
You'll understand at then why he's done this, but he's playing like a science teacher at Philadelphia High School. And then you've got Zoe Deschanel, who's Alma Moore, who might be one of the worst female characters ever in cinema. In this,
What, in this program? In this film?
in this, that's,
She's so easy to hate.
Ken. The thing is,
She's a huffy bitch.
it's one of the worst written female characters
she's
I've ever
awful.
seen in
Do
film.
you know what I
I'm
thought?
alright with Zoe Deschanel. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Who's that girl?
She's
It's
good.
Jess.
Aye. It's Jess. Loving you, girl. Although I think I like it more. I think as somebody said to me, they liked it, and they says Jess is alright, but it's the lads that are really funny in it. Ken, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's just covering all bases though. Ken,
Yeah.
the women will relate to Jess, and the men, I've always really liked it. But obviously, she's a new girl, Elf, which I've never liked. I've never
Elf.
liked Elf.
What was
Everybody likes it.
Is
It's
that Will Ferrell?
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not into that.
No, oh,
And I'm a
you're
Will
the
Ferrell
only
fan.
person. This is
No,
why
I
we're
don't like that
pals,
shit.
isn't it? And also Failure to Launch, which is not great. But obviously, New Girl's the thing that she's.
Yeah.
Well, she's
she's
done
got it
big
known
films,
for.
but she's
I mean,
she's Elliot's wife in this.
She's
basically.
also, what, Katy Perry's stunt double.
Oh, I'm telling you something. There's
They look so similar.
There's another lassie that looks like
I
them,
know.
and their dad's got some.
It's like the
he's
world's...
got some answering to do.
That'd be like the world's best three-way.
But then we've got. There'll be a parody someday. Ken.
Yes.
There's a parody. I'm surprised. I mean, there's like Family Guy. Not that I've watched any Blue movies.
Have you seen the Rick and Morty one as well?
There's a Rick and Morty one.
Pickle Dick.
Oh, I'm in. I've never watched a Blue movie, but I'm
No,
in.
yeah.
Ken. Aye.
Research
Do
purposes.
you know?
only.
I know you're not into it, and I don't know how, but American Dad. There's one of them. You know the
Not a
the
fan of
aliens
American Dad.
Roger.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the Foo Roger costume, but then they unzip it and it's just a huge with
That's
this grey suit.
ridiculous.
But not that I've watched it. But then continue with the cast. We can't just sit. We're
Kinda
not.
said this- aye.
Do you know Pornhub has a podcast?
Does it?
Aye, I saw it the other day. I went, I have to tell you, but there's a podcast for everything. Again.
What do they talk about?
Porn.
Glorious.
They're not
What-
going to talk
how?
about.
Right, but how do you talk about? Yeah, he puts it in her bum. I mean, I know we just give you the plot of the film,
Your
but
listeners, that is. No, but they don't review
of course
it.
they have more listeners than us.
But I think I've not listened, but I think the overall thing is, in like say in America especially, I suppose maybe in this country and every other country, there are some folk that go into like porn conventions and that, and they see them as proper film stars.
Would you
and
go to a porn convention?
that. No,
Why not?
no, unless it was a stag do,
Why?
because I think that's a bit grotty.
I think if you go, you have to go in like grey tracky bottoms.
Why?
Just that's what I imagine every man there wearing.
Aye.
Usually overweight
Mhm.
and some sort of stain on their t-shirt.
Got a lunchbox from their mum that's made them earlier.
Yes.
Do you know?
And I don't know why, but I imagine a ferocious neck beard.
Yeah. Do you know Ben Kissel and Marcus from
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
podcast? They were talking about, I think it might be in the Chris Benoit episode, how they met China and she was winning a porn award because she played She-Hulk or something.
That Chris Benoit episode on the last podcast floored me.
I know.
It's so funny.
It's
That's
so
one of the
good.
best ones, actually. It's one of my
It's
favourite
really
last
good,
podcasts. And
really.
I thought this is going to be crap.
I know.
So good.
It's absolutely brilliant, but it's quite harrowing to think that happened.
Oh,
Again,
terrifying.
It's hard to believe. Imagine
It's the
still
bit with
happened.
the neighbour. They're like, oh, the police couldn't be bothered going, so they sent the neighbour around.
Aye.
It's like, what?
For those that don't know, Chris Benoit was a wrestler who was pretty damn good and been a world champion, and then one day he had roid rage and killed his wife in his Wayne and then killed his cell.
No.
It was big news. But anyway.
Your standard roid rage suicide.
Oh, don't know if that's your standard, like, Ken. He hung the Wayne, like, Ken, or strangled him in his sleeper. No, he hung his cell with his weight bench or something.
Yeah.
But pretty evil. But then we've got in this film Big John Leguizamo. He plays Julian, who's a math teacher and Elliot's best friend. He's also been in ER. That's how my mum knew him. My mum used to watch ER. He was in that for a
He
while.
has also been in My Name is Earl.
Oh,
Catalina's uncle or cousin, I can't remember which.
yeah. He's also been in Super Mario Bros. The film, which is pretty dreadful, but actually a wee hidden gem for me. I don't mind it as much, but it's pretty bad. Like it's Bob Hoskins plays Super Mario.
I can't think.
Aye.
I think was it? That's really old though, isn't it?
Oh, 93.
Oh yeah, I've
Aye,
seen that
aye.
actually. But like
not
when I was a
great.
kid.
Aye. But also he's in my favourite film of all time. He's in Carlito's Way.
Is
That was
he?
his big kind of Hollywood that and Super Mario Bros. In the same year.
Cool.
He plays Benny Bianco from the from the block anyway, and he's good in that. He plays the guy who's kind of like the up and coming gangster who's trying to take Pacino's spot, and Pacino's trying to get out, but he's got a grudge against him. It's good. It's really good. But they're your three main characters. There are characters in this, but Jesus Christ, I don't have all the time in the world to talk about this piece of... There's a lot more to talk about than the cast in this
The cast in
thing.
it's pretty piss poor. So we've established so far that the budget was not spent on cast really. Wahlberg's the kind of big one there. The other two are kind of mediocre at best.
It all adds up, and then you've got locations and things. But I mean...
Well, right, you're saying about locations. No, we'll get to it in the plot. There's no point in me going on a rant yet.
But then again, Mark Wahlberg, he's a rap god. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
I think Mark
He's the number
Wahlberg,
one single.
Mark Wahlberg is in the video for Black Label Society Stronger Than
You
Death
were
playing
telling
bass.
me this. I didn't know that.
And I'm pretty sure in one of the recordings is it him that you can hear shouting bitch? It's maybe not him
Maybe.
actually. I've maybe made that up. It was maybe the other bass player.
Right.
Anyway.
You want a background on M. Night Shyamalan or whatever?
Yeah,
the
why
director.
not? Why not?
He's wrote this. But
He's responsible for this monstrosity.
let's scan through the films that he got up to, right? Now, he did a couple of films that were highly regarded, but they didn't make much money. Then, Sixth Sense, right?
Boom.
Great film. Really great for the time. They followed that up with Unbreakable.
Do you know The Sixth Sense? You know how the little boy Haley's in it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I say to Haley that she's got a boy's name.
Let's no.
To be fair, I think he's the only Haley boy that I know.
That's a good point. I'm trying to think of that.
Yeah.
Suppose it's like one of those things. How
What's he called again? Haley Joel
Osment.
I
Aye.
mean, if it was Osmond or Williams.
Donnie's boy. But
The Osmonds.
You
Crazy Horses. Is there any less sounding Osmond song?
I know, but do you not think that that's sometimes how Leslie is basically a woman's name, but then you've got Leslie Nielsen?
My old tradesman was called Leslie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, there's bound to be some. It's like
I remember-
Jamie is a.
I
boy's name is
remember
girl.
once one of the guys I was working with was like, Les, what would your name be if you were a woman?
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, obviously Leslie,
Aye.
shut up.
just Les
Bo.
from the island of Lesbos. So Unbreakable. Then followed that up with Signs with Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix. But the
Mel
aliens.
Gibson, a white guy that gets it.
Say what you want about Mel Gibson, but the son of a bitch can no story arc. And it's debatable whether this is good or not. I think the ending's pretty bad, but it's not too bad. It's scary at points. It gets a bit silly at the end. Have you seen it?
Yes, I know.
It's okay. Then he followed up with The Village, which is really interesting to begin with. But then I feel like at the end
What
when the
happens
big
in the village again? I'm
what
certain
the
I've seen
village
that.
the village is basically there's an old fashioned town, colonial kind of thing where they're all dressed in
Yeah.
old and that, and they say you don't go into the woods. There's monsters in the woods. You see the monsters in the woods.
Yeah, I've
Somebody at the
seen
end
that a
gets
long
out
time
the
ago.
woods and they land on a road and there's like cars and that, and they realise that they've just been held back in this wee society.
It's like the Amish.
Aye, but the Amish know you're there. They don't know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there is no fucking way. For all that time,
No one's been there.
nobody's been, because it literally takes her 5 minutes to get to the road.
Yeah.
I went, and I think that's what
Someone's
ruins it.
walked through that forest for a piss.
It's a great twist, but she does not walk far enough to. There's nobody no walk through that forest.
I feel like I've seen that, but when was that released? A long time ago.
2004. Signs was 2002. Village was about 2004.
I feel like I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to after that. Now this is where it starts to really, like Ben Kenobi and the Death Star, right? Lady in the Water, which is pretty universally hated.
I've never seen
Worse
that.
than this.
No.
I have seen it, but I don't remember enough.
Can't it be worse than that?
No, but like more universally, like there are folk that stand up for this. Even his fans were kind of like, no way, I'm not having this, right? He followed this up with The Last Airbender as well, which is another one that's on the worst kind of films list, and he kind of ruined a thing. He didn't really have a proper hit until he just done his follow-up to Unbreakable, and then which I seen not long ago, which is quite good. Forgive me, I can't mind the name. It's got the Scottish fella in it. Can't mind his name. McAvoy or something. James McAvoy. I think it's James McAvoy. I could be wrong with that. But I didn't actually realise it was the follow-up to Unbreakable until about halfway through. But I think what he's done is, because Unbreakable is obviously, sort of subliminally like superhero movie, they've kind of said, you need to get back on track. What's hot right now, superhero movie? Oh, get your follow-ups done now, because he's doing The Virgin as well. Get some cash in. But that's just me.
Surmising.
My own interpretation of it, because he went flop, flop, flop. And right after Lady in the Water, before The Last Airbender, because he did that After Earth about 5 years ago, which which sounds really good. Basically, Will Smith and his boy, Earth's been evacuated. Have you seen it?
I don't think I've seen it, but I've seen the trailer. I think I remember seeing it.
They come back and crash land, and I heard it was awful. And then I watched it. I says, I need to watch it.
It's his actual son that's in it, isn't it?
Aye, and he's a wee bitch, like.
I've seen the trailer. I don't think I've seen the film.
Fucking awful. He did the Karate Kid, and then he just got loads of films, but he's a wee prick. He wore white to somebody's wedding and got chucked out.
Why?
I don't know, because I think
was the bride pissed off?
Well, would you not be? No, it was a funeral.
Wait,
it was a funeral, and he wore a bright white suit, and then he started wearing. I think after that, he's like progressed into like a transvestite.
Really?
The same way that Eddie Izzard likes to dress as in women's clothing,
right?
And which is fine, but he started getting bitchy about it. Like nobody was giving him a hard time, and he's acting like he's getting a hard time. Do you not see that thing the day where Jackie Chan's daughter had a wedlock? She's like, "Oh, Jackie Chan's not my dad now because she doesn't want to get a real job." She's greeting saying, "Oh, he's not looked after me," and that. And
she's living under a bridge, was what I seen.
Get a job, bitch. You know what I mean, Ken?
My parents are homophobes.
Aye, it's like, did they bring you up? You know what I mean, Ken?
Exactly.
Aye. But it's one of those things, so he's a bit of a prick. But that film, it's the whole film is Will Smith get injured, and then he has to try and help Will Smith. And Will Smith lies there for the whole film. It's pretty grim, like. But this is the end after Lady in the Water. I mean, I think this is worse than a lot of them, though. So, kick off, if you will.
What would the start?
Well, that's the background to this, really.
The start of this film is 2 minutes of clouds.
In New York City in Central Park.
No. Before you even get there, it's just clouds.
But that's just
2 minutes of clouds, Mark.
But the names come up.
2 minutes of clouds.
You've had opening credits before.
Opening credits, but this was just 2 minutes of goddamn clouds.
How is that any different for
it's
2 minutes?
Shite.
I've got to defend that.
Nah.
Because you've had a million films where it's 2 minutes of a train going past, or somebody sitting in a carriage, or sitting at home.
But that's at least something. This was just like CGI clouds. They were terrible.
Did they look a bit Windows?
They're shit.
Exactly. Windows 95. Aye.
No, what was before Windows 95?
I don't know. That's before my time.
I don't really remember, but
I was born in '89.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, you're older than me.
We have opening scene, Central Park. 2 women reading on a park bench, and basically a cold wind blows, and then I've got people start clawing at themselves. General confusion. And then the woman stabs herself in the neck with a needle that she's pulled from her hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Workers coming off the scaffold.
I've also, I've got you see a policeman, someone jumps off the building. General confusion again. Then a massive body start jumping off the building and crash into the ground. It's pretty gruesome, actually.
It's not the worst opening to a film. Bar your Windows 95. If you didn't know the rest of the film and you saw that, you're intrigued.
I didn't like the bit where she just stuck the needle in, gently, you know what I mean, like into her neck. It's like,
Why? Because you don't like the look of it.
No, I mean, just the thought of it, I think, is quite disgusting.
But I don't think you need to see half the kids. You know, Tarantino. Everybody says Tarantino's films are gruesome. They're really not.
They're not. It's like
you
fake
don't
violence.
See,
do you know
when,
what I mean?
When you've got Marcellus Wallace
getting pumped,
and then Bruce Willis, you don't really see it. But then when Bruce Willis comes in with a sword, can't remember Bruce Willis' name, it's by Lantis, I see it. You don't see the sword. You don't see the sword go into the fella. He stands behind him, and you get the feeling.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, it's so vicious. The cutting of the ear scene in Reservoir Dogs, you don't see it.
No.
Makes it worse.
Do you not think
seeing this, they just show all the gruesome stuff, and I think it takes away from what it should be.
I would agree with that, actually.
Yeah. But you don't need to show that, I don't think, to have the same feeling. Take the Tarantino route.
See, with the likes of Tarantino, for me, it's like the violence is almost like cartoon violence. Do you know what I mean? It's not like real. Like the blood doesn't look real in anything that happens. It's all for like over exaggeration, if you will. Whereas this just was gross.
A lot of folk didn't like Tarantino. I seen some woman who gave him abuse before she'd seen Kill Bill about how the women are portrayed in it, and he's like, because they're bloodthirsty, they're doing this and that, and Tarantino's like, but you wanted a hero who's a woman. The women are empowered. The women are more in the right than the men. And she just gives him nothing but pelters, and I think. Imagine giving him pelters about violence and things, because I really don't think Inglourious Basterds, you don't see the scalpings or anything, you know, but you have films like this, nobody will give M. Night Shyamalan stuff, and I mean, there's way worse than this needle in the neck thing, you know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with that, I don't mind some films when it's gruesome, but I don't think this film needed it.
Again, I just have beef with the film, so it's like...
Yep.
Anyway, we cut to Mr. Wahlberg. Mr. Elliot Moore.
The cool science teacher
the cool
with a
science
sweater.
Teacher. Oh, sweater. Is it not a sweater vest?
Aye.
Yeah. On about bees. Disappearing. And he starts kind of messing with the hot kid.
Yeah.
I feel kind of creepy saying that he's a hot guy.
He is quite a sexy
he's
man.
portrayed as like the hot kid in the class.
He's a sexy man.
And then basically the principal comes in.
He starts giving her shit. Ooh, the principal. Fucking sacked. Fuck you,
exactly.
Mate.
You just be like, fuck it.
By the way, do you know what he says about the bees? The thing he's going about the bees.
Well, how they're disappearing.
Aye, and he goes, you know what? Sometimes it just can't be it's just unexplainable.
No, it's not.
You're a fucking science teacher.
No, it's not. It's because people are dicks and fucking killing everyone.
He's a science teacher.
Yeah,
he doesn't hold his hands up and go, oh, well, we might never know that. He's got to become, what's the answer? We want to know. I'm meant to be looking into this.
Agreed.
What a lot of shit.
Stephen Hawking didn't just go, well, fuck knows about that black hole. He put out theories. Probably all pish, but...
This black hole needs to be discovered. Put me in the rocket before I get turned off. Both.
That was quite a good Hawking.
It's not bad. You did a...
Just do the thing with your lips.
Aye. It's not bad, is it?
You've been copying that Howard Wolowitz.
That's where it's from, actually. Yeah. Aye, wee prick.
Anyway, that's when you're introduced to Sid the Sloth. Julian. He comes in, and basically there's all this confusion in the news reports kind of reporting like it's been a terrorist chemical attack that's caused people to commit suicide, which is fair enough. It causes what I think the words they said was there'll be like a state of confusion, disorientation, and then inevitably you'll commit suicide.
It's the land of confusion.
So their answer is send everyone home.
Because that's the
go home. I don't want to be cleaning it up off the school. So that's basically what happens. It's kind of like a state of panic. Julian invites Elliot and his girlfriend to the country to visit. It's like to stay with his mother, I think, just to get out of the city in case they attack the city. And that's when Elliot kind of says he's having problems with... I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. What's her name again in this? Is it Elsa?
No, Alma.
Alma.
Alma Moore.
Stupid like that.
Now, did you pick up that she's like trying to cancel an appointment that she's made with a work colleague because she's basically implied that she's cheating on him?
Aye, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's being distant. There's obviously something going on. It's kind of portrayed early on that they've got relationship problems. I'm doing air quotes there. She is a twat. Exactly. She's the worst character in history.
She's cheating on him. She doesn't like him. She keeps blaming him for all the problems.
And she's just a fud.
He's not much better.
Who, Elliot?
No.
Nah.
Do you see him as a hero in this?
No.
Do you see him as anyone with the answers?
No. I see him as an annoying fucker.
Do you know what? No, I'll say it here because I notice it later, but I'll just say it because this is what I pictured him as, right? See, when I thought about him and I had a look at him, he's not wearing glasses, but with a sweater vest, he doesn't know what to do. If he starts forgiving her even though she's a bitch, he's grimy for The Simpsons.
He is Frank Grimes.
He's fucking Frank Grimes.
He's Frank Grimes.
Aye.
I'm peeing on the seat. Give
Aye.
me a promotion.
Aye.
Oh, man.
That's who he is. That's the level
I
of
love-
hero he is.
I love Frank Grimes,
Aye.
and yet I still hate this film.
Yeah, but the thing is, Frank Grimes was sort of right, but he's like everything wrong with Frank Grimes. But that's who he reminded me of. I went, this is grimy. Can.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. But aye, so they're going to go out to there, and Julian's has got his 8-year-old daughter, and his wife's going to meet them later, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that what's
she gets
implied?
held up, and basically she's held up. She's going to get the
Mhm.
bus. New York's evacuated because the toxin obviously makes you kill
Mhm.
yourself.
Mhm.
At this point, that's when Alma's phone rings,
Uh-huh.
and she basically is like hangs up, and Alma's kind of pissy with Mark Wahlberg. I keep calling him Mark. It's Elliot.
That's fine, everybody knows who it is.
That's when they get on the train to
She
Philadelphia.
gets in a separate carriage.
No,
the
aye,
bitch.
exactly. She's like, right, we're going to sit apart because I need some space.
Aye,
But
because
like-
she's trying to cancel this appointment.
Aye, this
Now, surely he's getting he's been he knows what's going on.
he seems pretty stupid. And
No, like the person
oblivious.
she's meant to be meeting.
Oh yeah.
So why does she need to explain to him if there's been a state of emergency? I'm leaving. What, is he just sitting at the coffee shop waiting for her?
Exactly. So many plot holes. Like, it's really annoying, isn't it?
This guy that wrote he's a good writer. He has wrote good films. Why is this such a turd? That's the thing.
It's so annoying. The
Uh-huh.
whole film's shit.
Mhm.
Anyway, the wind blows and folks start the death shit again. Is my notes,
Fucking
which I've actually
wind.
written here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that when she tells him that she had tiramisu with someone?
Believe so.
No, I don't think-
No, it's
No,
not.
You
Mhm.
find out that she had tiramisu. That's what it is. Because she's sitting on her own. The phone rings, so she answers the phone
Mhm.
to this guy. I think he's called Joe or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. No,
And he's like, "Get over it. We had one tiramisu together. Now everyone knows that tiramisu is the pudding that you have before you're getting your hole."
what? I've never had tiramisu.
I'm making this up. I'm
Right.
trying to give the film some sort of credit here. No, exactly. So shut up. This
Doesn't
film's
deserve
stupid.
it.
Exactly. We learn that Boston has been hit with the same thing that is apparently hit New York. The train stops in Filbert, Pennsylvania. I wrote that down because I thought Filbert was a funny place.
Mm-hmm.
That's when basically there's a general, everyone in the train's pissed off, and there's like a bunch of train conductors at the front of the train. Awful lot of train drivers and conductors.
Just picture Ringo Starr narrating over this.
There was a hellish lot of, I mean, I'm talking like 7 or 8,
What's-
and I'm
what's
like,
they need?
one guy to drive the train, surely.
Just one going, now, Thomas.
The thing is as well, they've stopped, right? And it's like, why have we stopped? You can't just stop here. We've lost contact with everyone.
Well, no,
Right.
to be fair, if you lose contact with the radio signal stations and things, because they need to swap the tracks out and things, don't they?
Yeah.
You can't just keep going.
You can.
And then what, going off the tracks for hitting our train?
But there wasn't that.
That was the reason.
No, it wasn't.
What was
They
the
lost
reason?
contact. They were all just terrified. So they thought, well, let's fuck it and stay in Filbert. Then that's the next thing,
Do
though.
you not think
Everyone
they
tried
lost-
to get out of Filbert, Pennsylvania.
They lost contact with the radio signal stations and things. That's
Bullshit.
why
I'd have winged it. I'd have just kept the
You
train
can't
going.
just wing it, is
I
it?
would.
This is
I've seen how train drivers do it. It doesn't look that hard. It seems to be one lever. You're on rails. It's forward and backwards.
This is America. They have different. It might be different than say Glasgow Central,
Not having it.
right? You don't have to have it, right? But
So
that's
anyway.
what I say. But I know. But Julian, does he not want to go on a bus to Princeton to meet?
He's going to
Girlfriend.
do that. That's after
Aye.
they go for their they have something to eat at the diner.
And what does he do? He's going to meet his wife or his girlfriend. So what does he do? He leaves his 8-year-old lassie with these folk. Why couldn't he take her? He's got a seat, but why can she not sit in a lap?
Well, would you leave your? I mean, I wouldn't leave my kid. Just saying.
No, but why? Why does he? There's no explanation why he leaves his kid.
There's a bit before that though at the diner when Elliot puts his mood rig on the kid because the kid's obviously quite upset by the whole thing. And then at that point, a woman just walks up to him and he's like, "My friend just got this from Pennsylvania Zoo," and it's a guy getting eaten by a lion.
Oh,
Do you not think that bit's ridiculous as well?
Oh,
Because
the
she shows
secret-
that to the wife, to the kid and Elliot.
aye.
What? Who does that? Yeah. Would you like to show your 7 or 8-year-old daughter a man being eaten alive by a lion?
Did you see the fucking CGI?
Oh, so
on
bad.
this?
So bad.
The guy's got his arm, the lion's pulling at it, and he's like just like pulling away from it. He doesn't fall over, and like it doesn't even come off at the elbow.
It comes off like it.
halfway between. And there was a thing on Channel 4. Did I tell you about it? The zoo? The guy who owned all the zoo animals, like, you know, in America, you can basically own any animal in some states. In Texas,
exotic animals.
He just let all them out one day, and
Aye.
he killed himself. But the first thing they go for, tigers and lions, is your ghoulies.
Really?
They won't pull your arms off because that's the sweetest meat.
Have you just made that up?
No, you know what the guy did, right? He wanted to kill himself, but he wanted to let them out, right? So you know what he did? He dropped the tweeds, let the lions out, put his arms up, let the lions and tigers out because he had them in the same bits, right? They pushed them down, and he dropped his kecks, right? He dropped the tweeds, let out the all meat and two veg, right? And because he knows that's what they want first. And so they bit him in the head or the throat, killed him, and then start munching, then they munch the rest.
Munch down in a bit of bratwurst.
No, look it up. It was on Channel 4 years ago. It's that's legit. So that's all crap for a start. Again.
But anyway, we've discovered that it's not terrorists from the woman with our stupid phone video. And that if they stay in Filbert, they're going to die there. So then that's when everybody basically in the place decides to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, they found out that the rural areas are actually the best. That's what the thing.
Well, no, they're getting affected as well, aren't they?
But not as much as the cities.
Not as bad as the cities, but it's getting it's spreading further. So I think that's how they surmise it's not terrorists. No one's. That's the thing. They're all trying to hitchhike and get out of there because they have a child, and no one's willing to help them. But then a strange hippie offers to pick them up.
And he's one of those guys, every other day, he'd be fucking the crazy one, but because this is happening, he's way ahead of time, and he loves fucking hot dogs.
Yeah.
What's these hot... You know, hot dogs are good eating.
Hot dogs and plants. But then Julian leaves...
He gets in the car with a load of folk, doesn't he?
Yeah, he leaves the kid with Elliot and Alma, so that he can go to... I can't remember what the fuck it was called. Princeton to basically get his wife because she's on a bus to Princeton. So he's heading that way because he doesn't know if Princeton's been affected.
They drive through an infected area, don't they?
Yeah, and he starts rattling off a lot of maths, kind of like in numbers to him on the probability on when he's going to get hit. And there's a 62% chance that it's not been hit. So
if you take my 62% and add on your 65%.
So basically there's a slow-mo going away footage when he's driving away in his wee crew in the shit Jeep. I've got here, what the hell is that? Farm not to the nuclear plant.
Well, basically what happens is they drive through an infected area though, don't they?
Yeah, but sorry, that's what it was. When the hippie's taking them to his like on his way to his farm, there's like a massive nuclear plant nearby. And you're just thinking, what the fuck? That's like having, I don't know, your greenhouse next to Chernobyl.
But I suppose
No one does that.
Well, not in Chernobyl they don't. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, definitely
there's a
not
reason
Chernobyl.
for that.
But anyway, they basically say, "Oh, we're going to go in and get some supplies." So Elliot and Alma take a look round these kind of the hippie guy's grounds. He's got like a big greenhouse full of plants and that. So he's walking about, and they basically, I think even they think that this couple they've got with are fucking weird. And the hippie naturally thinks that it's the plants that's causing all this. You know, plants have feelings.
They're defending themselves.
They're defending themselves from a threat. They'll change the way their cells work. You know, some vegetables will change the way they taste when they suspect a predator is nearby.
I fucking hate this guy.
Bullshit. Anyway, the next point you figure out, Princeton has actually been hit. They're driving to Princeton and all they can see is folk like hanging from the trees and stuff.
But I mean, is this Julian that's doing this, or is
this is Julian. Sorry,
Julian and his group. But
they've basically arrived in Princeton, and basically there's people hanging from trees, and Julian starts like.
Is this what the lawnmower scene is?
No. This is when like the lassie on the back of the car starts freaking out. So Julian hits her with a mass problem. It's like if you had a penny for the first day and it doubled every day for a month, how much would you have?
Show panic. Pretend you're panicked.
Show 'em panic.
Imagine this if you were panicked, right? You just say, "Oh my god, what the hell are we gonna do?" Right?
What are you on my impression of? Oh my God, what the hell are we gonna do?
And I turn round in the seat, run to you in the car. You're panicking, sweat's rolling, and I
Sweat's pissing out of me.
if I gave you 6 pennies and then took away 5 pennies, how many pennies would you have by the time you got to Princeton if 2 pennies gone every 60 minutes? Now, would you not punch that cunt right in the face?
I would probably kick him out of the car. Yeah.
That's the worst.
But
they're trying to cover up all the holes in the Jeep, aren't
do you
they?
do you
Where
want-
air could come
yeah.
through.
Do you want to know the worst thing though? Like when we were watching it, I think Kayleigh came in at that point, and then she's like, you know, he's like, at the end of the month, how much would you have? She's like $20, and he's like, more. She's like $30.
Mhm.
Then he's like, at the end of the month, you'd have over $10 million. Haley was like, is that true? And I don't care.
No. And what gets this guy day? But see, when they're trying to they're putting their basically their clothes, trying to cover up anywhere where there's gaps in the doors or anything.
Yeah.
And then what do
Julian
notices
Julian
at the
looks
top,
up. It's
There's
a soft top Jeep.
and there's a tiny wee cut.
Tiny wee rip.
Now, do you really think if you covered up every hole and there was no hole in that roof, no air's getting in that vehicle?
There are air vents in that car. Not every
Everywhere
fucking
where
hole.
you can't
Exactly.
It's so crap.
So shit. So they basically insinuated that they'd plugged this fucking hole in every car, and it was the roof that let them down in the soft top Jeep.
Aye.
Of course, air's gonna get in. Anyway, the Jeep stops for maybe 5 seconds, and then absolutely speeds off into a tree. My next annoying point about this, right, was that the guy in the front of the car, Julian, was in the front seat, and there was 3 people in the back, right? So the car mashes into the tree, and 2 bodies go flying. I would have assumed the 2 guys in the front would have went flying, wouldn't you?
No, I've one had a seatbelt on.
Not buying it. Anyway,
Julian had a seatbelt on.
Julian, did he though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it when he turns
did.
around.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sticking up for the happening again. Anyway,
It's my favourite film.
so he got out. Julian gets out, picks up a bit of the broken glass, and tans his wrists.
And you see it as well.
You see it.
You
yeah.
don't need to. I
You
mean, it's
don't-
fair. You
It's
don't
from
need.
a distance. You don't.
You don't need to see that
Nah,
scene. You
you
get
could've-
the idea of
You
it.
would have got the impression that he died in the car crash. You didn't need to get out and tan his wrists.
It's just so fucking. So he's gone, but he's left his wife with.
He's
like,
dead.
his
He's
pal
left
and
his.
that, so it's
Well,
fine.
you'd imagine his wife's dead too. But I
Well,
mean, he's
aye.
left his kid with someone else. Happy days.
Aye.
Aye. Anyway, you get back to Elliot and Alma. See, that's the thing as well. There's like no continuity or flow with this.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the next scene, Alma and Elliot are driving away the hippies and that. And
Well, you can't stay with Julian. He's tying his wrist in.
no, I know, but it's just.
I know what you mean, though.
stupid.
It's
So stupid. Anyway, yeah. So there's like they
so
stop.
there with Jess, the 8-year-old now.
Yeah.
And she's unaware that her father's just absolutely mutilated herself to death.
Yeah. They stop in the road and they're like, oh, what's that up ahead? Oh, hold on, you've got binoculars in the back. All right, your standard neighbourhood sex pest fucking starter kit in the back of the car there.
It's your Dennis Reynolds starter pack.
He gets his binoculars out. He's like, oh, that's bodies in the road. So if there's bodies in the road, right, and you can see it with binoculars, you're not that far away.
No.
So
Is this just a magical Roman straight road, is it?
It must
Aye.
be. Anyway, so they turn around and they head the other way. The plants rustle ominously. Ominous rustling.
Your monkey puzzle tree's going to come for you one day.
My monkey puzzle. Did I tell you about my monkey puzzle?
Yeah, you did on this podcast.
Did I?
Once. Aye.
So everyone's aware of my shit monkey puzzle tree.
They should be if they've lasted this long now.
I was actually at my mum's at the weekend and I said to my dad, I was like, I think that tree's dead. And he's like, yeah, I maybe have to repot it. Now, I'm not a gardener, but I don't know if repotting it would help or not. I think it's dead. Just fucking bin it.
I'm in no position to argue. But
No.
I've got an orchid plant in my back bedrooms, and it dies and comes back to life.
Really?
It does it every.
Immortal.
Yeah. Well, eventually it will be too much and it'll die, but that does happen.
I don't know.
But
So, after our ominous rustling, we bump into the army.
aye, scared army
Private Pile.
Go my pile.
He seems to think that they're safe where they are. And then from nowhere, a lot of people seem to appear on this very quiet country road.
The army.
Basically, that as well is when they find out that Princeton's been hit. So Elliot and Alma basically assume that Julian's dead, and the wee lass takes it quite bad.
They can appear off.
That's because sorry, I should explain. There's a woman on the phone to her daughter in Princeton, and she's like, "Oh, stay in the house, stay in the house." And the next thing you hear her just like jump out the window and kill herself. So that's how they know Princeton's been hit.
Who cares? There's about
And
80
then-
of them on Wall
Do
Street
you know,
every day.
do you know the bit that annoyed me most about that was you could hear the wind blowing down the phone. So bad. They were trying to make this wind be terrifying, like that. It just wasn't. It just isn't.
This is just It's the worst villain of any film.
It's shit.
Mm.
Basically, that's when Jess cries, obviously because her parents are dead.
As you would.
Then that's when the hippie comes out with that the plants can talk to each other.
Mm.
Oh, ridiculous. So they try and head to a safe zone in a couple of groups. This is when you find out that Alma lied about Joey. And I think she basically explains to Elliot that she had tiramisu with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Which is
just
a
like,
sin. You know that's number 11. Thou shall not have tiramisu.
I don't even think it says have tiramisu, it's just thou shall not tiramisu.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, the wind blows again, and Group 1 goes mental.
Well, they split off into two groups because they come to
they're
the conclusion
trying,
that larger groups are more susceptible, so they split off. The army private takes a group of them. Elliot and Alma go with another couple called and a couple of folk called Josh and Jared, a couple of teenagers, and they kind of separate into the wind, don't they? And the wind kind of hits. Now, as the wind hits, your army man Al Gomer Pyle starts doing the full metal jacket stuff.
Oh,
you know the guy who played the army instructor. He just died last week.
Really?
Aye. There was a really good kind of thing online where it was just showed the gates of heaven with basically Stephen Hawking just sitting there and him going, "Stand up, you lousy maggots! I didn't know they piled shit that high." Again, it's fucking great.
Brilliant.
So rest in peace. I think Robert R. Lee or so. Robert Lee Emery, Sergeant Harmon. He's dead. So rest in peace. Far better film than this.
Oh god.
But he starts doing this Full Metal Jacket. This is my rifle. Da, 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 da.
Aye.
And then they run away.
Yeah.
The other group, and then you hear the gunshots in the distance.
You hear repetitive
going,
gunshots. You know they're all killing themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
again, more wind and suicides. Elliot needs a second to think, I've got here, because everyone's panicking. They're hitting him with all these questions. He's like, let me think.
Very grimy, isn't it?
Very grimy. But the thing is, everyone, like, if someone says to you, right, give me a minute, what do you automatically just start rattling off more questions to them, don't you? And trying to upset them and not let them think. So, worst character in history.
Alma's a cunt. And
She's
she's
a
shouting at him, "Hey, help me." She's like a child. You know what I mean?
Basically, what he surmises, though, is that the plants are reacting to a human stimulus. And to basically stay ahead of the wind. That's the
wind
game.
hits them like it corners them. It's like it corners them and they stand in the middle, but they're all right.
It's not a fucking eye of a hurricane, do you know what I mean?
It's just so
Then
confusing.
the really bit that got me, the next bit, so fucking annoying. The wind chases them in the field. Now, who runs away from the wind? You're not going to outrun the wind. That bit really fucked me off.
It's like
now,
that.
this is the bit where I was saying to you earlier about the budget. So, 48 million. Do you think they bought one big fan?
2 fans, you see it cross over.
Gay.
Do you notice that it is actually one like tidal wave of wind? There's not wind. It's not like the whole thing's rustling. It is like there's one gust.
Yeah. It's
But
shit.
have you ever seen the film 2012? Where
Yes.
the ice chases them.
Yeah.
This is worse than that.
But
And that's bad.
What really annoys me is, right, the wind's chasing them. Wind doesn't work like that. It's not like it's not like a wave. Do you know what I mean? It's
No.
like a wave of water. It's not like that. Wind's just there.
Mm-hmm.
It's shit.
If you took the wind out this,
And
do you
also,
think it'd be more believable if it was just there's a stimulus in plants and some areas are worse than others and
Probably.
it changes?
but then that's what I'm saying. Why does it need the wind? Because that guy said the plants can talk to
They
each
need
other.
a chase.
Blades of grass could go on. Here, Steve.
Huh.
There's a person near you. Kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Jimmy. There's a person coming. Kill it.
Official flower business.
Exactly.
You know, Ken.
A chase scene with wind. Really?
Do you know what the best bit of this film is? It's after
The
this
end.
they realise they're all right. No. This is if you had to choose a bit for me. This is the bit that made me have a wee giggle and I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite inventive, right?
But this bit chasing the wind.
Then they ruin it. No. After that, know how they stop and then they continue on. They're all right.
Well, see here, I've got the wind catches them, and there's no death.
No, but they split up after that for the rest of them. But after that, because we're about the halfway point of the film here, and then we cut to a news report on the telly in West Virginia, and there's 2 old ladies wearing gas masks doing the knitting.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
Quite funny.
That's quite good because that's what you do when you're sensible and you went through World War II. You get the old gas mask out and you think, fine, we'll just see this through.
But there wasn't any like bombings in America.
Pearl Harbor.
Fair enough.
Do you not think there was more you didn't know
I
about?
take that back.
That's,
I'm just sitting there. The minute I said it, I was like Pearl Harbor.
do you know what? It's bad because this
I
is
can't
what
imagine them women being at Pearl Harbor.
I giggled. Well, why not? They could have been like 12.
What, like the Sailor's Entertainment?
That's horrible. Although my first thought after that's probably the best scene in this film, had a wee chuckle at it, thought that's quite good. I like that image. Two other ladies in gas mask. I went, I bet that's somebody somewhere's fetish.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't think like that, but you know, it's a crazy old world out there.
Yeah.
But then they ruin it. They ruin it after that, because then they show there's a folk in a bathtub in a house watching the news, the same news report somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest interracial couple or family I've ever seen. It's a white woman. No, it's like two black women with a black child, a white child, and a Chinese child. Now, I understand that a couple who were lesbians or something could
adopt.
But that just seems really weird that they went, we're going to have two, and it could just be families, but you get the impression it's like they've all jumped in together.
Aye. That was
But
weird.
I just felt, I don't think there's, it's the same as,
It's like ticking a box,
you know how, well, they did this thing, but you know how, like, I drove past the new school on the way here, and they've got the rainbow thing up for, you know, equality and that, because everybody's obsessed with, well, you need to be called this for pansexual, transsexual, transgender, gay, bi, right? Have you ever seen that Smirnoff ad that's out right now, right? And each to their own. Anybody can do what they want, right? I'm pretty open to anything, right? But there's a thing with Smirnoff saying they've got loads of transgender people and gay people and straight people in this thing, and they're like, we don't do labels because that's the thing. We don't want to be labelled. We don't want to be labelled. See these folk, they want to be labelled. They should do label themselves a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
If
get that,
it's not a big deal, don't make a big deal of it. It's just, you know, I don't get it.
I hate living in this fucking, like...
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like this delicate world.
I feel like a villain.
Fuck off.
I
Do you know
feel like
what I
a
mean?
villain sometimes.
It's just everyone. It's like everyone gets offended at everything. I don't care if you're offended. That's your problem.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Gervais says, "I've got, you've got the right to be offended by me, but I've got the right to say you're a cunt."
Yeah,
you know.
It's like, but I mean, it's the thing. It's like if you're offended, I forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that you're offended. So what? The world doesn't care if you're offended. Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember we worked?
Who gives a fuck?
Do you remember we worked with Italian Storming?
Yes.
And there was one day that there was you know, the somebody, it was a school or something, brought out a pamphlet that was sent to our storage office, and I don't know if you were there at the time, but he was a funny fella, and obviously he's Italian and that, and he just looked at it, and on the front was a Chinese boy, a white lassie, a black wee boy, there's a Inuit chat, every hand, all pals and that, and he went, oh, look at this, boys. When the fuck will you ever see this again? You know, I heard a great story just before we got on with this film, and it really fucking made me laugh. I was watching this wee thing about it was an interview with Alan McCoist, who played for Rangers, if you then know, and he's talking about Tommy Burns, who played for Celtic, who died, and he was talking about, he said, I've got the best story about Tommy Burns, because they were pals even though they played for opposition sides. They were doing this thing with all the legends where they'd sit in 3 rows and they had the cards for the picture that they were holding up for the camera, and it said show racism, the red card, and so it's all meant to be, oh, we're all together, you know, blah blah blah. Alan McCoist is hungover for the night before, he's running late, he runs in 10 minutes, they're all absolutely raging at him. It's like, Ali, we've got to get into the golf course, what are you doing? He's like, I'm sorry lads, I'm sorry. He guns in, he's not got his card, Tommy Burns is standing behind him, somebody passes Tommy Burns the card to give to Alan McCoist, and he guns, mind, this should show racism, the red card, hands it to Ali and go, there you go, you orange bastard, would you hold that up? We've been waiting for you. No, that's the kind of stuff that
Brilliant.
That's acceptance. Say what you want, we'll have a laugh about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It's like, if someone, I don't care. Call me what you want.
Aye.
I could not give a rat's ass.
Aye.
It's like, I'll have been called worse by better folk than you.
You plick.
Exactly.
Nah,
I don't care.
I like you.
I'm totally alright with it. I don't care.
We really do want to talk about this film, do we?
Nah, we talk about anything but.
But anyway, so I thought they ruined the best scene with a quite confusing scene just after it. I thought they ruined their best image.
Anyway, from that point there, no death. The wind catches them, but nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
They basically they start looking for a house.
Oh, do you know where they arrive? A Bluff model home.
Oh yeah,
that's what they said in OSW. I went, that is totally true. Because
It totally
it's a
is.
model home, isn't it?
It is.
With all the fake stuff.
Yep.
Imagine if Joe Burnett had just been in the background
Gold.
going, what the hell you guys want here?
So they arrive at this model house, looking for a map.
He talks to a plant.
Then discover I'm not here to hurt you, plant.
Aye.
I
Which is
won't-
quite funny. It's a wee bit of humour.
It's a plastic
But
plant.
it's weird.
It's a plastic plant.
Aye.
Nothing but positive vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I've wrote here, Elliot talks to the plant. Oh my god, nothing but positive vibes. Plastic. Wanker.
Very Scottish notes. But do you notice that they see two other groups arrive in the distance and then they trigger an attack? And I think this is
They
where you
run
have the
away.
lawnmower scene,
This is
don't
where you
you?
get, yeah. Because basically they see people coming, they're like, fuck this, so let's run. So they run away. And I've got here, ran over by lawnmower guy.
Because the guy turns on the lawnmower and like lies underneath it.
No, he turns it on and then lets it kind of like, it drives about on its own for a bit. Like freewheeling it. And then all of a sudden turns round and he's lying down in front of it. Hilarious.
But it doesn't like, if you leave a lawnmower or a car just gone, it doesn't go straight.
No.
It leans.
That's the thing.
And he just sits down for miles away and it just goes.
Exactly.
Do you know the
But
scene?
it turned because it was going the wrong way and then he
Aye.
lies down and somehow it miraculously turned and then went in a straight line.
It's like that scene in the first Austin Powers where the he's on the steamroller and it's like, move, and it's kind of like 2 miles an hour. It's like, no! But, aye, and it's... And then you hear Elliot hears a radio debate on the way back, and it's like, well, I actually think it's this, and I think it's that. It's all this bloody
Shite.
American. Well, it happens here as well, but in America, it's always one. You can only. It seems to be you can. Maybe I'm wrong. We do have one listener for America at least, but you seem to be either have one complete opinion or the other complete opinion. Like I don't know if it's Democrat and Republican. You can't have anywhere in between. So they're always arguing about everything.
Aye.
You know what I mean? But
I've
that's
actually got here about the bit we've missed. This is when they try and get like the story. I don't know, like to get incorporate the love story somehow.
fucking love story.
Elliot gets life advice from the black kid and the ginger kid. I can't remember what they're called.
They're just
Is it
two
important?
kids.
Is it important?
No,
Anyway,
they're just two kids.
basically they're like, "Oh, have you got kids in that?" And he's like, "No."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, dude, you should totally have kids in that." It's like trying to make it into some sort of love story. Pish.
Mhm.
Anyway, while they're walking, Elliot then hits Alma with well, there was this one time I saw this well-tidy bird in a pharmacist, and he's like, "I walked in and I bought some cough syrup. Didn't even have a sore throat."
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that the best they could come up with?
dire,
I know focal day things. I've said some pretty corny lines in my past, but did this film need that?
dire.
How can there be a love story when she's so unlikable and we've got Grimy? How can that be a love story?
Grimy.
If anybody, if you like this film, fair enough, but does anybody believe that love story?
No.
They're so unlikable.
The whole
Mark
film
Wahlberg,
shit.
Mark Wahlberg's character's not an unlikable guy, but you don't root for him.
Nah.
And Alma's a
The
terrible
whole time,
character.
the whole time I'm rooting for the Nettles.
Well, that's it. But
Anyway.
is this where they come up to a house?
This is when they get to the house that's all boarded
Ugh.
up. There's someone in it that's boarded up and they won't let them in.
But
and
these
then-
folk have a right. They're knocking and banging, going,
Oh.
we're not going to hurt you. The sea folk they're in, that's their property.
Well,
In a
basically,
time of turmoil,
well, the guy basically shoots the two kids.
shotguns them.
Shotgun.
But they're kicking. The kids are actually kicking like their house and that.
Aye,
so
the kids
I'm not.
are trying to break in.
Aye, but
And,
she blames Marky Mark for this, doesn't she?
Well, does she? Yeah, I think she maybe does actually.
She does. And then there's terrible acting.
Oh,
She blames Marky Mark for these two kids. The kids were absolutely battering these doors, kicking their windows and that. I mean, honestly, at a time of turmoil where folk are killing
the thing is
themselves,
as well, you don't know if they are infected or not. You've no idea what's going on. You're quite entitled to blow their face off.
they're asking for supplies and they're not getting them any. Would you not just move on? Are you going to
I
convince
wouldn't
them?
exactly.
And
Can
it-
we come in? Nope. All right.
Is that
See ya.
it's like that Eddie Murphy where he's like, white people stay in houses high. Imagine black folk doing the poltergeist.
This house is lovely. Get out. Too bad we can't stay, baby.
That's it. But aye, so we've got a black kid and a white kid die, so that is normality and
That's the
restored.
equilibrium
Aye,
restored.
restored. But mhm.
Basically, again, they keep walking.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no, they find out in the news somewhere. They hear a news report anyway that tomorrow morning we'll see peak deaths. That's when this phenomenon's going to reach its peak, because apparently that's how science
Because we
works.
don't know what's staying it, but we know that there's going to be peak deaths at this time.
Exactly.
You can't even get the
so
weather right half the time. How the fuck are we meant to believe this? It's happened for one day so far.
massive plot hole.
Aye, but they keep going, and then they come to. Is this where they come to the house of creepy Mrs. Jones?
Yep.
Oh,
They basically
Jesus.
they find an old house with no power. They're like, oh, this house must be abandoned. There's no power, no nothing to it, no like any sort of communication or anything with it. So anyway, they go in. Who says she's just kind of sitting on a rocking chair, doing the old, "It's good to have love."
Aye, she does.
And then she's like, "Are you lost?" to Elliot, and he's like, "No, we're just trying to escape from this impending doom that's chasing us about." She's like, "Well, I suppose I better offer you supper."
Aye, because
So-
she's obviously quite lives by herself, wants to be left. She doesn't know any of this is happening.
Nah,
She's got
she's
her own
cut off
greenhouse
from the
and
world.
things. But she takes them in. She's a bit sarky, but she doesn't know them. She doesn't like people. She still takes them in.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
a bit cunty. But is this where they have dinner?
Yeah,
And Dwayne Jess starts going for...
a bit of bread or something.
No, she goes for a cookie, and
Yes,
she
that's what it
slaps
is, a
her
cookie.
hand, and they look at her like, "Oh, what a bitch!" But then she like gives her the cookies as if she's like, "Ask,"
Yeah, don't just take.
and they look at her like she's a fucking bitch. No, she's a bit
She's old
forceful,
school.
but she's no woman. A lot of women
Yeah.
and men, and a lot
She's
of
old
people are like
school.
that.
Slap
But
never did me any harm.
See if I came in here, right, and you had cookies on the table, and you've actually gave me some anyway, but you said I could have them. Now, see if there was a thing, and I just reached in and took a couple without
To
asking.
be fair though, I know you. I wouldn't be bothered. Do you know what I mean?
But would you not think, oh, Mark usually asks, that would be alright?
Nah, because it's different. I know you. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, to be
My
fair,
house
but
is
you
your
didn't
house.
know.
I don't care.
If I brought somebody room for this and you said it was okay, and then they went for them,
It's kind of
First thing
different.
you
If you like came in and then just started raking through my cupboards, I'd be like, "Here, who are you?" What the
Aye.
fuck. It would be different. Aye, I
Mhm.
agree. You're like family, though, Mark. That's all right.
thank you.
Uncle Mark.
Sorry. Can we have an intermission? That's quite sweet. Good. But
Anyway, there's another awkward love chat in there as well because she's like, "Oh, so what are you like? Are you?" I can't remember what she says. It's not even worth fucking remembering. It's dire. Anyway, she's got no radio. She's self-sufficient and she doesn't want to know what's going on out there. So whatever important thing you think you need to tell me, I don't want to hear it.
sometimes I feel like that's the way to go.
I totally agree.
Fucking hell.
Um,
Can we live off the land?
Don't know. Probably
I'd
not in
miss
Scotland.
electricity.
You'd probably just have to eat like rabbit
Well, whatever you catch.
stew.
Humans.
I'd catch children.
The Albert fish. I eat ass.
Jesus.
But then we get...
Elliot wakes up the next morning anyway.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on.
What?
Did you just miss before they go to bed and you've got the most iconic line at this film?
Hold on.
Where they're going to bed and then Marky Mark comes round the corner, Elliot comes round the corner, and she's standing there, Miss Jones, and she's in her nightie, and she says,
Oh,
"Are
yeah.
you whispering in your sleep?"
Aye.
If you're going to do any splices, that's the one, because that's the thing that everybody's...
I'm going to tell
remembers
you
now.
now. I'm splicing fuck all.
Well, you're going to have to tell what it is. So basically, well, I'll tell. She basically standing there at night and she goes, "Whispering, are you? Plotting against me?" And he goes, "Ma'am, no.
It's like,
Are you going to kill me in my sleep?" And Marky Mark's like, "What? No!" It is the single worst bit of acting he's ever done in his career, I think.
horrendous. It's like, do you plan to steal or murder me?
Uh-huh.
What? No. Anyway, Elliot wakes up in the morning. There's no one around. So
Mhm.
he kind of wanders downstairs. He's kind of shouting out, seeing who's about. And he ends up in Mrs. Jones's room.
Mhm.
And there's a creepy doll lying in the bed. Now,
Mhm.
why? Why did there need to be a creepy doll? I'll tell you why. No need.
It could be interpreted so many different ways, but
Bullshit.
maybe she's had a kid and she keeps the kid's doll and the kid's died. But I mean, there's no explanation
Freak, it's-
because she comes in and loses the plot, but she
This
doesn't
is-
say why.
This to me is the line of the film. She just kind of like clenches her fist and screams, "Leave now!"
Mhm.
That's it. And then from there, from there as well, the next bit doesn't make sense.
Well,
You know what I mean?
she
She
goes to the
loses it.
garden.
Then she goes outside. Fuck knows why though, because she was on her own. It's not like she pissed off the plants, but all of a sudden, she, like the wind's there, everyone else gets inside, but she starts like storming about, and then starts like headbutting the wall and sticks her face through a window or two.
Aye, to kill herself.
But it's
And then she opens the door with her face or the window, and all the wind comes in, and Marky Mark has to lock his cell in the cellar or something.
yes, because the cellar won't have any air that
And
can get in.
then, obviously she's probably dead, but they're in this wee room, and then I almost took Jess out to like the old slave
Yeah,
quarters that are away from the house. She's walked away from the house and went into the wee bit. Now there's a place she can speak because it was constructed so they could speak to the slaves
and
when they were
hide
in there.
slaves when they were
And they
running
start
away or something.
talking about their wee stories and that between them. They've just gone straight to calm forget this woman might still be out there, just absolutely peltering it. They're just
so
straight to cam.
Do you want to know what else was horrendous? Me and Matt were actually talking about this. You know,
Mm.
when like the face is coming through the window and stuff.
Mm.
So clearly a mannequin.
Well, you know, what you gotta do.
Mm.
We're talking about a film where wind is the enemy.
True. Don't know what I was expecting.
You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty grim. But they talk about their first date, and they talk about being horny in front of the kid.
Yep.
Like, I understand that that's not the worst thing in the world, but this kid's like 8.
All about the mood ring though.
But well, this isn't their kid. I think that's the thing.
What? So they can talk about it in front of it. It's still creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Weird.
Basically from there, they sit in
This
that
is
wee
where they
house
decide they love each other.
and they're talking. Yeah, this
Aye.
is like it's like an epiphany. Oh, I actually do love you. You're all right. And he's like, oh well, if we're gonna die, I want to be with you. So
Never mind the kid.
Nah. So Elliot basically branges out, and they hold hands, and the wind blows, but no one dies.
No, it's
And then it's like
it only lasted 24 hours, and then we're 3 months later on.
3 months later. That's the thing. It skips to 3 months later. Everything's all better. The plants were behind it. It was an act of nature. We'll never fully understand it, which
And
is
this
like,
bitch is pregnant.
which is the link back to, like what he said at the start. We'll never fully understand it, which is
Oh.
bollocks because that's the total opposite of what science is about.
Uh-huh.
And then there was one of the experts is like, oh, I think this was a warning, a threat to the planet, basically to change our ways. I think this is meant to be the moral of the story: change your ways, or the Earth's gonna come and kick your ass, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot's walking home, finds out Alma's pregnant. Then it all starts again in France,
At the Louvre.
and
at the garden.
the plants start killing folk in France.
But this time it shows rain clouds.
What's the rain's at it now?
This is that's what I got for it.
The shattening too. Stay tuned.
Shut this.
Oh.
It's not happening, didn't it? Worry.
Then I've got here more clouds.
Aye, but they're like rain clouds this time. That's what I got. But the one thing that the OSW review made a good comment about is one of them, Mr. OOC, does it interpreted that the number one. Now you were talking about power plants. The number one place with power plants in the world is America, and number 2 is France.
Well, for nuclear power plants,
Mhm.
is that right?
That's right enough. So is this active ones anyway? So is this what it is? But how the fuck are we meant to know? He's never came out and said. He's never made it clear. So what the fuck? But that's how the film ends.
That's
it's
it.
gonna happen in France now. Oh fucking great.
That's it.
That's it. They're having a wane, even though they've been. Oh, okay, it's poor.
Right.
Do
The
you want some
plants.
facts about the end of this
The
film?
plants did it.
Well, wind, plants, you know, the other. Folk debate. Tell us, because I'd like to know. I don't want to watch it again, but I'd like to know.
No, I'm never watching it again. I don't care what you think of this.
Do you want to know some end results of this?
Aye, have
Right.
them.
So, Empire called this the 8th worst film ever.
8th.
8th.
What was the other 7?
I can tell you some of them. It's between Highlander 2 at number 9 and Six Lives of the Potato Men at 7. Now, I can recall, I don't fully agree with this list because I think there's films in here that don't deserve. They're just stupid comedies and that. And they put Scary Movie in this top 50
Really?
worst. Aye, I'm like, really? Is that?
Scary Movie's not that bad.
It's alright.
I thought it was funny when it came out.
Aye, aye. But
Hilarious.
it's not a fucking travesty, is it?
Nah,
How's Scary
definitely not.
Movie 5 not there? Again, that's crap. But number 2 was Battlefield Earth, which I think is well up there. It's
What, for bad films or good
oh,
films?
bad films. Aye,
don't
it
think
was
I've seen
number
that.
2. Oh, Jesus, Chief, that's one. Now, do you know L. Ron Hubbard for Scientology? The guy who made
Yeah,
Scientology.
yeah.
Did you listen to the last podcast
Yeah,
episode with L.
yeah.
Ron Hubbard, right? He wrote all these books because he was a science fiction writer. Obviously, John Travolta is one of the guys like Tom Cruise and Isaac Hayes and that who was all in Scientology. One of his books is called Battlefield Earth. It's like, I think it's about a 5 or 6 series. It's like a science fiction kind of, you know, Star Wars,
Yeah.
Dune, that kind of thing, right? He spent 20 years trying to get this made. He said this will be the film to end all films. Spent fortune on it, right? He plays a main part in it. He plays like an alien. He made this. It was like a labour of love. 20 years brought it out. Fucking shit. I watched it. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's well up there. I've not watched it since I was a wee boy, but he must have been gutted. You know what I mean? Number 1 was, Jesus Christ, I can't even remember. I blocked it from my memory. You know what's wrong with it though? The Room was in this list,
Oh, but the
and
Room's,
it doesn't deserve to be there. You know what I mean?
The Room's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even that bad. The Room's misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for me, The Room, when you watch a disaster artist, you start to understand the room. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just a misunderstood failure.
I mean, that's it. I just think, but there are things in this I didn't agree with, but it is, the happenings there and it deserves to be there. There's a lot of other films there. I mean, like Battlefield Earth, and this is the worst film ever according to him, but this I didn't agree. I'd have been happy with Battlefield Earth being there. Batman and Robin.
What one?
That's the one with George Clooney and Schwarzenegger and, Alicia Silverstone and Batgirl fucking suit in that.
Wouldn't have said it was the worst film ever.
No, it's not great. It's probably the worst of the Batman films, or Batman. That's weird to say. Batman films, but
have they seen Bad Biology?
Oh well, you tell me. But that's where it is on Empire's things. And this is in 2010. I got this for the OSW review, and then you were talking about Mark Wahlberg, about him taking this film. This is what he had to say. They were talking. He was having an interview, and he was talking about Amy Adams, actress at the time. He was in a film with her in 2010, and the interviewer asked a question about her not getting Zooey Deschanel's role in this film because she was apparently up for it, and her career was just beginning.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg, this is what he said: "She dodged a bullet. I was still able to. I don't want you know what. You know what? The movie, all right. The happening was it. Fuck it. It is what it is. Fucking trees, man. The plants. Fuck it. You can't torture me for not wanting to play a science teacher. At least I wasn't playing a cop or a crook." So basically, what he's saying there is he wanted to play something different than what he'd been playing.
Yeah.
He didn't realise
he
it would
probably
turn it.
didn't want to go on with the acting equivalent of AIDS.
That's true, but that was his reason to be for it, because he was, and he just turned around and goes, "Fuck it." He's like, "What can I do? It's a shit film. It's been done."
He obviously made a pretty penny for it.
Well, he'll make a pretty penny for every film, but I think the thing was,
but this one,
but he wanted to do
60 million.
He wanted to do something different, and who knows how much the script maybe changed or things. You know what I mean, Ken?
Exactly, but it's bad.
I think there is sometimes when you see an actor do a performance. I've heard Johnny Depp talk about this since when he was working with Terry Gilliam. Sometimes, no matter how good an actor you are, the director might tell you to do something different than what you're doing. You could be doing something perfectly well, and then he's saying, no, I want you to do this more, and then you watch it back and go, once it's out and goes, what the fuck is that? That doesn't work. Sometimes it's things like that. Have you ever seen Entourage, the TV series? It's based loosely off Mark Wahlberg's acting career.
No, I don't think so.
He's a producer. It's really good. And there's a lot of, you see how the movie business and TV business is really done, because it's about an actor who's up and coming, and he's got his entourage. Mark Wahlberg's a producer in it. Cool. It's loosely based off stuff that he's done. Cameos are amazing. There's hundreds of cameos. Well worth a watch, like. And you see a lot of that in that. And there's a scene where, like, the actor's got this big role, and he's starting to have a wee career slide, and he wants to do this film. And there's this German director, and he tells him to do all these different things, and he just doesn't do what he wants. And he's doing it fine, and the whole film collapses because of it. Right. And Mark Wahlberg's apparently had a role like this,
right,
where that nearly happened.
Jeez.
And it's because he didn't get on.
That's the thing as well. I mean,
so you can't always blame an actor for what they're doing.
That's the thing.
But
I'm not
he's
blaming
pretty
Wahlberg.
Atrocious. This is by far his worst role. But
I'm not blaming him.
Not bad. Oh no,
he didn't write the film.
Shyamalan's got to blame for this.
Exactly.
He's to blame for this.
It's not the acting I have issues with. It's the fucking story. It's so bad. Wind, plants. What?
I think he's trying to make a.
Do you know what would have made this? If this,
the planet.
You'd have been better making it about like Venus flytraps that started eating folk.
I bet there's a film about that.
There probably is.
The killer plants from Venus.
Probably, but do you know what I mean? It's so bad. It's not even. I mean, I've watched some shit films, and none of them annoyed me as much as this one.
This film annoys me, but it can be avoided. But I think my whole thing with this, when we started doing some films, was how much I enjoy the 1340 as a film, and look what it made, and look how much it's slated. And then you see things like this. Oh. That's my whole thing when we did that film, and I was like, this is my thing to get this film more respected, because when you see things like this, and some of the other films, didn't get me wrong, Sixth Sense is great, Unbreakable's great, Signs arguably is not bad, Village is alright, the one he just did, I think it's called Split actually, isn't bad at all. It's a good film. He's done some good films, but see some of this shit. Nah. This is fucking
This for me
bad.
is the worst film ever. Sorry.
Right, I think at some point you need to watch The Road and see if Christine and you, because you did agree on this, but Christine had a think, and she thinks that this. You know what our top 4 are worst ever?
Hit me.
And least worst to worst, right? Now, judging, she did quickly change our thing, so it might change daily. Edward Scissorhands, she fucking hates that.
Really?
But a lot of folk like it. It's not terrible, but it's not really my cup of tea.
But
Aye. Then I think it's a cross between these two. She hates the musical version of Les Miserables.
never seen it.
I really like it.
I'm not into musicals.
Neither am I, but I really like Les Miserables. But the actual film, there's a film 10 years before or 20 years before that's not a musical, and it's way better.
No musical fan.
It's way better. Aye, but the actual story is way better. Like, but I don't mind it.
Do you know the only musical I like?
Ah.
South Park the movie.
That's a great one, though. It's a fucking belter. What about, you know, like any Monty Python or that?
Monty Python's different though.
Meaning the Life's a musical, but that's the only one. But it's not the best. Holy Grail and that are better.
Life of Brian's my
better.
favourite one.
Yeah, that's Mace folks' favourite.
Gold.
I switch. Life of Brian probably just takes it, but I love Holy Grail.
I like Holy Grail
love
too,
Holy
actually.
Grail, but Meaning of Life's a musical, but it's by no means my favourite.
Yeah.
It's the worst of the 4. I would say. Well, Lillian's not really. It's just a collection of clips. Anyway, then the happening, but our ultimate yin that she doesn't like the most is The Road. And I think she'd forgot about it. Now I watched through. Apparently the book's incredible. I can't mind if I've actually read it or I heard somebody basically explain the story, because I feel like I know it.
Yeah.
But the film's just, it's got so much. Ken, it's annoying with that because that's got so much promise,
Me,
and it doesn't deliver.
this is just on something kind of different here, but have you ever seen Cujo?
I think I know what it is, but I don't think I've seen it.
It's about a rabid Saint Bernard.
You
It's
told me,
a
but it's not, I
Stephen
didn't.
King film.
Nah,
Me and
I
Haley
didn't, no.
watched it, and I think it was 1983 that came out. And what I liked most about it was that it was real dogs.
Mm.
They had like 5 Saint Bernards for this, and they
Ah.
basically like gunged them up, made them look rabid and stuff.
That's good.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Aye.
it's bad, but it's really, really good.
Stephen King film adaptations are usually the worst shit you've ever seen that's totally not made right or
good.
Absolutely. Because
I
like the
think,
Shawshank Redemption's a short Stephen King story.
I think short, it's 3 hours long.
no, but the actual story
Yeah, I know.
itself. Do you know, like in the real story, it's like no black guy, it's like an Irish guy.
Yeah, I think I did know that. Is
Aye.
that no? What's he called in the film? It's Red, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Aye.
think so. That's Morgan Freeman, and
Yep.
it's
Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne used to get away
I
from.
love the Shawshank
The
Redemption's a
sisters
great
got
film.
that's up there, one of the best films
Brilliant.
ever. It's quite entertaining. That I think Big Jamie had the same, where like every time you go into it with a lassie, they've never seen it, and you can almost guarantee they'll love it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no, that's a good
Ken?
film. I
'Cause
liked
it's
it.
such a good film. And then you've also got things like, you know, but you see some of them that Stephen King's have been redone, and they're just so like depends, like just a made for TV movie, and then you get something like that, and it's
Yeah.
like
Cujo was.
Crazy.
Did you know what my favourite thing about Cujo was? Because it was real dogs. They were like clawing at stuff and digging away and that, but like the whole time the tail was wagging,
aye.
and I was just like, those dogs aren't raging. They're having the time of their life. They're loving this.
You ever have you ever seen any of Zabrowski, the show Zabrowski's, and Your Pretty Face?
I've
Is
no.
Going to Hell?
I need to watch.
There's an
that.
episode with them. It's so hard to come across. You have to watch it on like Daily Motion or something,
Yeah.
honestly, you can't find it there. It's free, but they're all really short. They're only like 10, 11 minutes long,
Yeah.
but then you get like 10 episodes of it. But it's really funny. And basic premise is he's like a demon, and there's all these demons in like an office
Yeah.
kind of thing, and Satan's the lead guy. And basically, there's this like three-headed dog that like guards the gates of hell, and he takes it to like a dog show to like make it feel better. And they've all got different personalities, and they're like, well, we might as well give it, an acceptance award, so it's how it's the only one of its kind. And then it turns around, and the dogs is like, oh, I feel ill, and then they look around at the dog on the left at its head, and it's eating chocolate, and he's like, is that chocolate? It's like, yeah, man, yeah. And it's like, we can't eat chocolate, it's supposed to die. And then he sees Zabrowski's character with like half a big Easter egg, you get the holly, and he's like, but it's like 90% air, I thought it would be fine. And then he starts like CPR on this huge mutant dog again. It's good. I think that was my favourite dog thing that I've seen lately.
Brilliant.
It's well worth a watch.
Nah, Cujo was pretty good. I thought it was alright.
I'll check it out, because I'm a fan of Stephen King. You know what I mean?
You're
a big fan of The Shining and that.
Yeah, it was just because we watched the new Jigsaw as well.
Did you not say I was a bit pish?
It's just the same old. It's like utter violence, then twist, standard Saw. Do you know what I mean? And it's getting a bit old.
But
be brutally honest.
anything not to talk about this film, eh?
Exactly.
Fucking happening.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
I will probably never think or talk about this film ever again.
I'm going to text you plot points and
Nah.
theories and everything.
I'm just gonna ignore you.
Should we make a Facebook group called The Happening? What really happened?
The shattening.
It's awful. I'm glad we've done it. I think we had today a pure stinker.
Oh,
because we've not done
the rating. What are you giving it?
Just turds.
Yeah, like what are you giving it?
0.25.
What, out of 5? Does that not make it good?
No. 0.25 out of 5.
No, but like turds. You want it to have loads of turds because it's shit.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
So instead golden turds, if you get golden turds, it's a good shit, and then
Yep.
you've got stars, it's good. But the mayor, it's like, well, take a guess then.
I'm gonna assume you're gonna say 5 out of 5.
No. If I gave it 0.25, if I had to transfer that into turds,
4.75.
yes.
Do you
know why he gets that point?
What?
Scene with the women to the gas mask.
Well, out of 5, I'm giving it 7.
Oh, you can't do that.
I can. It's my podcast.
Fucking Dave Meltzer here. For fuck's sake, Ken. 7 out of 5 in the Tokyo Dome. Ken, Jesus Christ.
I'll maybe reduce that to 6.
I'll
6
give you 6.
out of 5.
You can't do 7. I'll give you 6, right? So you could say that if you go 1 over, it's the absolute shits.
Absolute
the drizzling
6
shits.
out of 5.
I'll give you that. No 7, aye. You know what I mean?
6
so
out
do
of
you
5
have
then.
anything you take away for this film?
Anything that I would take away from it?
Even
I've watched it 3 times now, Mark.
No, but even anything I've told you about it, take away positively.
Don't care.
Anything outside of the film.
Don't care. The fact that Wahlberg hated it, I'm kind of happy with that.
You've got a bit more respect for him after that.
I like Wahlberg, and I'm glad he hated it because it's shit.
If he'd said this was his finest achievement, you'd have lost respect for him.
He'd have been done for me. He'd be dead to me.
You know how like when artists do a shit album and then they say, oh well, you know, I needed to do that album
Fuck
get
off.
to the place where I like fucking. I remember, I'm trying to think who's done a really shitty album, but remember when Robbie
John Mayer, the one after Continuum.
I don't
Battle
know.
Studies, I think it was called.
I don't know every album.
Dire.
I don't know every album he's done. But do you remember when Robbie Williams was the biggest pop star in all of Europe, apart from America, basically? And then he brought that Rude Box album out where he does that rap. He's like, TK Maxx cost less, right? And it didn't even get to like number 1. He could have shit down a microphone and got to number 1. Then he did
Rude
that. He got to
Box.
like number 4.
Shake your rude box.
He's literally saying to folk like nobody liked it. I think I'm back. There's maybe a couple of tunes that were alright, but it's like it's really bad.
I've never listened to the album.
Even Robbie, even Robbie fans were like, "This is the worst thing that's ever been created." And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a Rude Box too. I think Rude Box is my favorite album I've ever done." And I'm like,
Do you think he was?
See that shit? Get to fuck.
Do you think he was just trolling them though?
It doesn't matter though. You should own up to your shit. If I do a bad job and I have to come back and fix something, you know, to be fair, everybody has something that doesn't go right or something, right?
Yeah, you own it.
I'll hold my hands up and say, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. I'll get this fixed. You didn't then just go, oh, this is my crowning achievement. You see that over there? See if you're a mechanic and that car exploded, would you go, that's my finest achievement, that?
Depends if I was making a car bomb or not.
It's like when you hear, like, Corey Taylor's quite bad for this, I've noticed, over the last, like, Stone Sour albums and that.
Stone Sour aren't good now, like.
See that last album?
I've not even listened to it. I couldn't get past. What was the last one? Was it House of Broken Bones or something it was called? I didn't enjoy them.
You know what? The very first album CD they brought out of that, or like album they brought out of that, the first one, it had 5, maybe 11 songs that were like, these are really good. See the second one, oh, grim. See this one, right? I don't think I'll buy another one by them. Like fucking, because I tell you what, it was just like, it's like a party album, and they're like 40 odd, 50 odd, and it's like they're trying to be Steel Panther.
What?
That's what the lyrics don't make sense. They're just like about stupid stuff. But I hate what he does, and I love Corey Taylor. But see, every album, I think this is our crowning achievement.
No,
I think, and then he goes back. See, 3 albums before he did this about Audio Secrecy when it came out, right? He says, this is the album we've always wanted to make. This is the album. See, by the time he's got to this album now, he talked about Audio Secrecy. He went, well, see, I think we made mistakes in that album, and I think looking back, and maybe even at the time, we shouldn't have had this song. I'm like, stop contradicting. Either say it's the good one or say this is our next album. You know what I mean?
Funny. I only really like their first 2 albums.
They're the best. They're the best.
Second's
the best to me.
Yeah.
Easy.
I like the first one actually. I think the first one's the best.
But Come Whatever Amazing one for me. But so fucking hell, we're going into different things here. You've zoned out, people. That's alright.
You don't listen to this anymore.
But so onwards and upwards for here, Chief.
I think we might. Well, should we do the big one for 10, or should we push it back?
Depends who's available. We'll either do the big one for 10, or do you just want to do something completely different?
I have one that I really want to do. I mean, I really want to do the big one as well.
Aye.
But I'm totally up for doing that Wing Wing.
That did look good. You need to make sure we can watch it somewhere.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, you've got it?
Oh, yeah, it's on the Fire Stick.
Oh, right. That's pretty suave.
I'm very much looking forward to that. 3 movies he's got as well. I don't know if we should do all 3, like.
We're not doing all 3. I don't care how good it is.
It looks
Ken.
brilliant, though.
It depends. Though. I think it does look good. Ken.
I think we should do that.
No, I'm up for that.
That'd be good fun.
But
anyway.
Aye, sweet.
Glad to get this one done.
Goodbye forever. I'm going to close the book on the happening.
I'm going to torch my notes.
Lock it away. And it'll be like the end of Indiana Jones, where they've got the big warehouse and they just like store it away, never to be seen again.
Are we calling it a day?
Yes.
Cheerio.
Oh!